Urgent information. Drones are currently being reported in Sweden and also in Norway. Let's get into the details. This is happening right now. It's developing information. And, well, obviously there's concern because more cases are being added, more countries are being added despite the NATO alert, even though they've asked Russia to stop sending these drones. Well, even with the warning that Zelensky gave today that the drones are coming from phantom oil tankers, let's get into the details of what's happening. First, this image you can see here, a bit blurry, has been circulating on social media. They report that this would be one of the unknown drones that have been reported flying over Karlskrona. Let's see where this area of Karlskrona is located, a strategic city in the south of Sweden. Let's go to the map right away and see what's happening. And what does it mean for the area? NATO? Well, maybe strategically speaking, it's of the greatest importance in the Baltic Sea, due to its proximity to this island, an island called Gotland, and they say that whoever controls the island, Gotland, controls the Baltic, and in this case, Sweden, a NATO country. But in this region? It's where the video we just watched was recorded, where this drone was captured. Karlskrona is not just any city. Keep in mind there's a naval base there that is considered the most important of all the naval bases Sweden has. For the defense of the Baltic Sea, this would be key. The origin of the drones, as far as is known, still hasn't been confirmed, which also causes a national security alert in this Scandinavian country. Exactly. At the moment when a large Russian ship was detected sailing off the coast of Karlskrona, that's when this happened. It had been detected in this area. Look. In this area, a Russian ship had been detected, one of those ghost ships. And what happens? Well, that drone appears. It clearly draws attention, doesn't it? The authorities do not rule out the possibility of a foreign intelligence operation, especially given the proximity of this Russian vessel. Local media report the Russian ship is on a commercial route, but its closeness to the military base has raised suspicions in and outside Sweden. The Swedish Ministry of Defense has not yet issued an official statement. They will surely do so in the next few hours, and we will be discussing it here in an upcoming video. This incident happens then, clearly at one of the most delicate moments NATO has faced in recent times. According to the same security experts, these types of incidents are usually part of a hybrid strategy. To put pressure on the intelligence services of other countries, on the military of other countries, and to measure their reactions, for example. Any unauthorized activity near military sites will be taken very seriously, a Swedish government spokesperson reportedly said anonymously. Citizens of Karlskrona have also reported sightings, and some managed to capture images like the one we saw a moment ago, which are being analyzed by Swedish intelligence. The event could have broader implications in the Baltic region, where several countries have increased their surveillance in recent months. This is not the first time that suspicious drone activity has been reported in Scandinavia. Norway and Finland have reported them, and now Sweden is also facing this problem. Alright, now let's go. This is Sweden. Let's see what's happening in Norway. Yes, pay attention to what happened in Norway. Let's get into the details because... And there's a map showing where a plane was flying. It's this plane right here, a 737-8 JP from the airline Norwegian. Yes, there you have all the data about this plane. Yes, there's the 737. Yes. According to the reports, this is the plane that's right here. Yes. And it would be, let's see, it would be a 373-8 JP from the Norwegian airline operating the Oslo route, according to reports. What happened with this plane? Here are the details. As far as we know, it was covering this route to what is Vardufos. It had to return to the capital, to Oslo, after detecting unauthorized drone activity near the destination airport. The flight was in its final approach. It was about to land when the air traffic controllers decided to close the airspace in Vardufos as a preventive measure. A few hours later, the regional airlines plane, careful, he had traveled to Brnosum, which also had to be diverted to Trondheim due to a similar situation. So, it happened there too. It's the second incident that has happened in Norway. Witnesses saw a drone flying in the airport's restricted area. Norwegian authorities have launched an urgent investigation. This is to identify the origin and purpose of drone use in critical areas. The safety of passengers and staff is our top priority, stated the spokesperson of Norway after the incident. These types of incidents have caused growing concern in Europe and Norway. It already has specific legislation for the use of drones, but these cases reveal possible failures in surveillance or enforcement of the regulations. What has become clear is that these countries do not have the ability to immediately shoot down this type of drone. Look, there are possible surveillance failures and the regulations are not properly enforced. They follow them, they can't find them. Excuse me? But anyway, between Sweden and Norway, countries that are neighbors, right? There's Sweden, right? With this case on this side and Norway on this side. So, in the southern part of both countries, they've had to report this situation near Oslo. See how close it is. Well, in these areas, suspicious drone movements have been detected. That's right. Do you remember there were drones? They were entering Poland, but these were clearly Shahed military drones, and some even crashed here. So they detected and confirmed those were Russian drones, right? Well, the forensic study has already been done. And what do you think they discovered in those Russian Shahed drones, originally designed in Iran, but operated by Russia? Well, they discovered that they had dual fuel. Those types of drones have a special tank that gives them dual fuel so they can go farther. According to Poland, they say that Russia does this to be able to launch those drones, extend their flight, and reach Poland. Remember, it was 23 in the end, counting what happened later. 23 drones, do you recall that time? Well, these had that feature. They all had extra fuel. What does that mean? That they wanted to reach Poland according to what the Polish are reporting? Well, that's the issue. Sweden and Norway are on alert because of this situation. That hasn't been able to be stopped. That hasn't been able to be halted. And it's impressive how an organization like that doesn't have the ability to react quickly. How many days have we been dealing with this problem, and up until now we still haven't been able to solve it? Well, that's the situation. Let's move on to other news in just a moment.